Good morning. Welcome to this Unitarian Universalist Church, which serves our congregations in Birmingham, in Tuscaloosa, and all of our folks online. Whoever you are, whoever you love, wherever you are today, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. To all who are here this morning, welcome home. The prelude prepares us for worship.
Please rise in body or spirit to join in our opening hymn, number 318 in your hardcover hymnal, We Would Be One. Please rise in body or spirit to join in our opening hymn, number 318 in your hardcover hymnal. We would be one as now we join in singing our hymn of love to pledge ourselves anew to that high cause of greater understanding of who we are and what in us is true. We would be one in living for each other to show all a new community. We would be one in building for tomorrow a nobler world than we have known today. We would be one of searching for that meaning which binds our hearts and points us on our way. As one we pledge ourselves to greater service, with love and justice strive to make us free.
Hi, I'm Terry Wright, and I've lived 72 years, and I've worn this kind of an outfit before. And I love that song today because I'm here to talk about perspective as an old person. And I want the kids to think about the word one, and that we rise together. And I want the grown-ups to think about a word called omnicide. And I want them to think about scientists who have a clock. They're trying to let us know we need to have perspective right now. And there was a group called Occupy, a lot of O's today. And it talked about how people could have corporations and work together, and the corporations were called fictions. They were not called personhoods at that time. And there were specific rules so that the fictions could let the public know what services they had to offer, and they could actually have their corporation approved for the next year. Does anybody here know how many times, if we put our dollar bills end to end, it would wrap around the earth if we had $1 billion? Does anybody know? It's almost 4 times. Yeah. 3.89. And so we're talking a lot of difference in money power, and I don't think I have to talk to this group about that. But I do need to let you know that we're still working, our justice group, with many other groups, and we just came from Alabama Arise, and I was so distracted that I had a 27-year-old near me, and a lot of my friends were not there that I would look and see over the decades. And so I wanted to tell him and write to him like a little schoolgirl, and Helen Rivas was paying more attention. But we went around to the legislators, and I back Alabama Arise 100% because they do research, they do good communication, and it's available to all of us. So Helen's going to give the speech I was going to give. Thank you.
Real quick.
But perspective.
Thank you. Real quick update. I put a little bit in the justice segment, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and we'll put in more next week. Also, allarise.org is, they are reporting on it. Overall, so far the session is half over. It was pretty good. They passed the Parental Leave Act, which was huge, and the sponsor, Vivian Figures, was addressing Arise as word came in from the House that they passed it, and the governor's actually going to sign it. So there's been, so far it's been pretty good. They're off next week, so if you see your representative or senator in their neighborhood, say hi. Keep developing your relationship with them. They will be back the week after next, and probably some nastier shoes will drop then. So keep taking your vitamins.
Good morning. I am Tom Jacobs, a member of the board. Good morning. I am Tom Jacobs, a member of the board. Our church is supported by those who call our church home and by those who support the efforts of our church to change our world for the better. If this is your first time with us, please pass the plate. We are just glad you are here. We share our cash plate every Sunday with organizations whose work reflects UU values to care for marginalized persons, advocate for real and systemic change, and defend our environment and promote justice and equity for all. We appreciate your donations, either by placing them in the plate, by mailing your donation to the church, or by using PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle. More information about this month's Share the Plate recipient, Bridge Ministries, can be found in the order of service in the lower right corner. Thank you for your generous support of our church and our Share the Plate recipient. May we give in love and in hope.
Where the river crosses the lake, where the words jump off my pen and into your pages, do you think just like that you can divide this? You as yours, me as mine, to before we were us. If the rain has to separate from itself, does it say, pick out your cloud, pick out your cloud. If there is a horizontal line that runs from the map of your body straight through the land, shooting up right through my heart, will this horizontal line, when asked to know how to find where you end, where I begin, pick out your cloud. How light can play and form a ring of rain that can change change bows into arrows. Who we were isn't lost before we were us. Indigo is his own, blue always knew this. If the rain has to separate from itself, does it say, pick out your cloud, pick out your cloud? If there is a horizontal line that runs from the map of your body straight through the land, shooting up right through my heart, will this horizontal line, when asked, know how to find where you end, where I begin? If the rain has to separate from itself, does it say, pick out your cloud?
Thank you so much, Dr. Fisher. Now is that time in our community when we share what we carry with us on this day, whether joy or sorrow. For those of you who are online, we encourage you to share your joys and sorrows in the online chat. And remember to hold each other by placing a parenthesis around each other's names. For those of you in person today, you are now invited to come forward and drop a stone in the water in honor or memory of what is on your heart today. Please come forward. Please join me in the spirit of meditation, followed by a moment of silence. This reading is by Jennifer Johnson. It's called Willing to Grow Again. Spirit of life, spirit of being, open our hearts and minds to all that is possible in this in-between season. Sometimes winter, sometimes spring, not quite one or the other. Beneath the crust of earth, seeds and bulbs lie in store. Some have dared to pierce the surface already, braving to become the next iteration of themselves, a new bloom. On the magnolia branches, petals curl themselves, swirling into uncertain buds, waiting for the optimal conditions of light and warmth and rain to unfold into their potential for beauty and delight. On the bare branches of maple, oak, and elm, tiny leaves are invisibly budding, readying themselves for their debut, a new wardrobe for this new season. We too are waiting. We are waiting to grow again. Like perennial plants, we don't grow along a singular trajectory. From infancy through childhood to the full bloom of adulthood to the wider unfolding of our elder years. Rather, we grow anew, year over year, in season and in cycles. In the cold and dark of winter, both real and metaphorical, we hunker down, seek shelter, and conserve energy so that new vitality can germinate. In this season, we are waiting for signs of longer light, lasting warmth, and quenching rains. Consider what new growth is budding in you today, readying itself to make its debut, to adorn the world with new beauty and delight. Let us take a moment of silence together. Amen, and blessed be. I'd love to invite the children to come forward.
I'm on. There you go. Good morning. We have a little fewer friends than normal today, don't we? You know what? Spring break. Spring break. That's okay. It's at your school too. You know what? It's not at my job. I don't get a spring break anymore. I don't get a spring break. If I was a teacher, I could have spring break. But then if I was a teacher, I wouldn't be here with you. I could do 2 jobs. Funny story, I don't do this job just on the weekend. I'm here all week long. What? I know. I'm here all week, I digress. I am here more than on weekends. I'm especially here on Sunday, because that is when everyone else is here, and if I didn't come here on Sundays, I wouldn't get to see all of you, and then I would be sad, or asleep at home, comfy in my bed. And you would be sad. Aww, I just melted. Sad. All right, can I tell you a story? You guys ready for one? Did someone just say no? Well, I'm going to do it anyway. Tell the story. Okay, cool. So this is a once upon a time story. And we'll go downstairs after. You know what? We're even going to go outside today. It'll be lovely in the sun. Anyway, once upon a time, in a town kind of like Birmingham, just like we live in, well, some of us, or the one in England, maybe, yeah. There was a beautiful garden right in the middle of town. Hmm. Your granddad does have a garden. He's like a farmer. Hi, Farmer Grandpa. He is a farmer. Well, this garden was called the Magic Garden. I know. And everyone loved to visit it. The garden had colorful flowers. It had beautiful, big, tall trees with soft leaves. And it had a sparkling pond in the middle. You could climb the trees. Absolutely. And there was fish in the pond. Pretty cool. People from all over the city would come to play in the garden and enjoy the fresh air and rest. Sounds lovely, especially on a day like today when it's sunny. So one sunny afternoon, kind of like today, 3 best friends decided that they would go spend the afternoon in the Magic Garden. So they packed up their favorite snacks and some toys, and they hurried over to their special spot under the big oak tree. As they sat down, though, they noticed something a little weird. The once beautiful garden wasn't as beautiful as it normally is. Uh-oh. There was candy wrappers and trash all over the ground, right? And there was a broken toy boat over by the pond, and even the flowers looked a little droopy. Oh, what do you think, Ren? Does sound like someone littered. It does. And or a bad guy, maybe a bad guy littered. This is all very true. Well, let's see what our friends do. Let's see what they figure out to do. So one of the friends said, I don't remember our garden ever looking like this before. And the other friend said, me either. It's really sad to see our special place so dirty like this. And the third friend said, I think we can help. What do you think they could do? They could pick up the trash. They could water the flowers, absolutely. They said this garden belongs to all of us. And so we all need to take care of it, right? So the 3 friends decided they would work together to make the garden as beautiful as it once was. They started picking up the trash, making sure to put everything in the right recycling bins, as a good UU would. And as they worked, they noticed how much better the garden looked without the trash. And the flowers seemed to smile just a little bit as the sun peeked through. I think the garden is magic again, they said. And her eyes were wide with excitement. And the other friend said, the magic is because we are all taking care of it. Just like how we take care of our toys at home, we need to take care of the places that belong to everyone. You too. Do you take care of that when you're at home? Excellent. And they said, that's right. If everyone did just a little bit, we could keep this magic garden beautiful all of the time. And as the afternoon passed, more and more children came to visit the garden, and they saw what the friends had been doing, and they decided that they would help too. Soon, the whole garden was sparkling with clean paths, bright flowers, and happy trees. And the friends were laughing and playing and enjoying the beautiful park, knowing that they helped keep their special place clean and beautiful for everyone. From that day on, the Magic Garden was always cared for. And whenever someone dropped off a wrapper or left something behind, what do you think happened, Ren? They could slip and fall. But if they dropped it, someone else would remind them gently and said, oh, you dropped this. Could you please help pick it up? Let's take care of our garden together. They could put signs and stuff too. And so the Magic Garden stayed magical and a place full of joy, thanks to everyone helping. And that's how our friends learned that when everyone works together, we can keep our shared spaces clean and make the magic last a little longer. The end. Yay! So, at that, how about we go downstairs to our magical garden outside? Could you grown-ups sing us downstairs?
I liked that. I have the honor of introducing our speaker for today, Kate Staub. Yes. Thank you for helping me do that to her. Kate Staub has been a member of UUCB since 2019. She currently serves as an RE teacher, a worship associate, and as our church website administrator, in addition to being on the Tuscaloosa Partnership Committee and the Right Relations Committee. She also has served the church as a board member and our previous board president. Kate is an internal communications manager for a social impact solutions consulting firm and holds a bachelor's degree from UAB in journalism and sociology. Please welcome Kate up to the podium.
Y'all are the nicest group of people I've ever known. I am talking about a concept today called the third place. In sociology, your first place is your home. Your second place is typically your workplace, where many of us actually spend most of our waking hours. For children, their second place is often their daycare, their school, or a place such as their grandparents' house where they reside while their parents are at work. Your third place is where you spend most of your time outside of home and work. It is the place you go to voluntarily, with enjoyment, and often with a close-knit group of other people. Your third place is where you relax in public, where you encounter familiar faces and often make new acquaintances. Back in the day, your third place was a lot easier to find. For preachers' kids and Bible-clutching ladies, it was the church. For health nuts and hard bodies, it was the gym or the fitness club. For bookworms, the library. For kids who could stay out until the street lights came on, it might be the basketball courts at the local community center. For those enjoying summer nights living in an apartment complex, it would have been your shared pool. And for those who couldn't go far, it was often just your front porch stoop or your corner store. For those of you who remember life before the internet, you can probably recall how common third places were and how much time you spent there before you had the option to sit home and doom scroll instead. The term third place was coined by Ray Oldenburg in his 1989 book, The Great Good Place. Ray argued that third places are important for democracy, civic engagement, and a sense of belonging. Third places, he said, are anchors of community life. He argues that there are qualifications for a third place, and I'll share those with you now. Be thinking about whether you agree with these criteria. He says it must be open, informal, and inviting. You don't need an invitation or an appointment, and you can generally come and go as you please. You feel that you belong there. It must be convenient. It should be close enough for you to visit often, ideally right in your own neighborhood. It should be unpretentious. Everyone there is on the same level. There's nothing fancy or fragile, and it's either free or not very expensive. Conversation is the main activity. Discussion, debate, and even gossip are expected to occur. And finally, laughter is frequent. The mood is lighthearted and playful. Joking and witty banter are encouraged. Consider the popular 1980s sitcom Cheers. The show features friends, neighbors, and colleagues who all meet at their local bar to hang out and commiserate about their lives. This bar serves as the community meeting ground. It meets all of Ray Oldenburg's qualifications for a third place. The theme song of Cheers even speaks to the community building power of third places, where you can go to take a break from all your worries and where everyone knows your name. In today's economy, I don't know if anyone still considers their local bar to be their third place. In my experience, it's no longer affordable as it used to be. When I was in high school, I worked at the Cracker Barrel Old Country Store in Pell City, Alabama. I worked there for 6 years, and I held nearly every front of house position there was. As such, I became acquainted with many regular customers. One particular day, I was working at the cash register, and a regular came in, an elderly man whose name was Tom, and he approached me to pay for his breakfast. As always, we chatted about his meal, the weather, and I asked about his cat, and I asked him if he would be back tomorrow for coffee. He said, "You know, I appreciate how nice all of you girls are to me here. Most weeks, you're the only people I speak to. If I disappeared, I think you'd be the only people to notice." So needless to say, that shattered me. I felt Tom's loneliness, almost as if through osmosis. And looking back on that exchange, I realized that for Tom, the Cracker Barrel was his third place, or really his second place, considering he was a retired custodian, so he didn't even have a workplace to be his second place. We, the Cracker Barrel employees, were his only community of friendly faces. It was the place where everyone knew his name. I'd like to ask you today if you think our third places are disappearing. Many people would say yes, they are. Here are some of the reasons why I believe that's true. First, accessing third places can be really challenging. As we all know, most things cost money now. Surely the $6 to $8 meal that Tom was buying daily in 2012 is now inflated to a larger sum. Plus, third places require transportation. Many cities, including our own, have little or no reliable public transit. So unless you live in a city center, places like coffee shops, libraries, and restaurants are not close to your residential area. When third places are not within walking distance, access to a car is a necessity and a barrier if you want to venture out to a third place. Low-income families who struggle to afford rising gas prices or reliable transport do not have equal opportunity to third places, or equal access to third places. They must find them extraordinarily close to home or not at all. Secondly, America's capitalist culture places an extreme emphasis on individualism and does not prioritize work-life balance for any of us. We are constantly pressured to spend more time at work, encouraging productivity over our leisure time with friends and family. Additionally, we might be so tired from the burden of our work and our responsibilities that we simply begin spending more and more time at home and less time with people outside of our families. After all, it benefits the corporate machine for us all to feel tired, uninspired, and without meaningful connection to our communities. And last but not least, third places may be disappearing because of the digital habits that we formed during COVID lockdowns. The pandemic changed how people gather. People who used to attend weekly book clubs are now getting their recommendations from Book Talk instead, posting their personal reviews on Goodreads or Reddit threads. People who once took in-person cooking classes are now learning how to make French onion soup from a YouTube video instead, which I do as well. Monthly coffee dates with friends have turned into FaceTime chats that we are only half present for. In many ways, the internet has robbed us of our third places. Instead, many of us scroll at home alone. Can virtual spaces ever replace physical ones? Mr. Oldenburg challenged this idea later in his life, arguing that the two are not comparable. But I do believe, and I think many of you will too, that online platforms have redeeming qualities. Just look at our church's live stream, for example. Because of YouTube, we can reach people who can't so easily be here with us in person. When I am too sick to leave home, I can still be with all of you from my couch, watching the service. Virtual spaces can offer comfort and community to many people for whom in-person socializing isn't feasible or practical, such as those who live in rural communities, or people with limited mobility, or people with marginalized identities. For some people, online spaces may not only be more convenient, they may be safer. Reddit threads and Facebook groups centered around specific interests and hobbies can serve as a third place, and they can be meaningful, but ideally they should not be your only third place. Our challenge is to work even harder to stay connected with the communities beyond our immediate circles. If one of the many crises befalling our society is loneliness, third places offer a solution. These environments are where the community gathers, where you can be actively engaged in conversation or passively taking in the bustle going on around you. At their very best, third places are a distraction from life's troubles and a powerful tool to combat isolation. I want to encourage you all to take a moment and think about this concept and how it has served you throughout your life. Where was your third place as a child? If you have children or grandchildren today, where is their third place? When you were a teen or during your college years, where did you belong? Where were you when you weren't at home? How did you eventually become distanced from your third place? And what did it feel like to lose it? Have you ever tried to create a new third place, such as starting your own club? And how easy was it to attract other people into your new community? And finally, where is your third place today? How did you arrive there, and what does it mean to you? Lastly, and this one is really difficult for me, I encourage you today as you leave to scan your mind for the people in your life who do not have a third place. What can you do to join with those individuals in community? A 2022 Vox article by Ali Volpe said, "If you want to belong, find a third place." It's a great article. I recommend reading it. If you haven't, you can just Google Vox 2022 third place and it'll come up. Soon enough, after finding your third place, you'll naturally braid into the fabric. You'll become one of the familiar faces, a driver of conversation, a person that people look forward to saying hello to, and someone who is deeply missed when you're not around. In an age of loneliness, I am proud to call UUCB my third place, and I hope that each of you are too. Thank you all for being the people who know my name.
Closing hymn, number 1053 in the teal hymnal, number 1053. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Take your seats, please. Don't want announcements. Activities happening after service today are outlined in your order of service. There's a lot of things going on upcoming, so please make sure to use your connection card to sign up for any upcoming events, to get a name tag, or to request information. The office staff read these every week in our Monday staff meeting. They're dated. We can't reuse them. That's my spill every time I'm up here. Please don't make us throw them out. Use them. Sign up for things. It's great. They're very important. If you already put yours in the offertory, that's fine. If you haven't, please fill it out now and hand it to our ushers at the end of service. They are still reading these, even though Reverend Julie's on sabbatical. It doesn't like me. I apologize. The Crossroads Spiritual Lounge is hosting Ocean's Feast Day. And Crossroads Spiritual Lounge is hosting Ocean's Feast Day and 1-year anniversary celebration on March 30th at 6 p.m. here. Ocean is an African goddess of self-love, fertility, and sweet water. The African Traditional Religion Meetup will be this Thursday, the 27th at 6 p.m. in the UUCB library downstairs. They will be discussing the pantheon of the Orisha and their fluid movement through the world. On Saturday, April 5th, there will be an expanded peace vigil at 5 Points South from 5 to 7 p.m., 5 to 6 p.m., 5 to 6. Please join us to surround the fountain in a multi-faith community. Make sure to check out your order of service. Once again, we are redefining when special announcements must be submitted in advance to the church office. So please submit all requests you want said up front or placed in the all church email or the order of service to our office email by Thursdays at 12 p.m. That way we can get them in before the all church email goes out. Our Extinguishing the Chalice was written by Rebecca Savage. In the cold and dark of winter, real and metaphorical, we hunker down, seek shelter, and conserve energy so that new vitality can germinate. In this season, we are waiting for signs of longer light. This is definitely the wrong page, sorry y'all. And quenching rains. Consider what new growth is budding in you, readying itself to make its debut, to adorn the world with new beauty and delight.
Beautiful.
My hands are so cold.